Bunsod ng naitalang 17 individual na ang kanilang naaresto.
Ng Metro Manila Development Authority o MMDA ang No Contact Apprehension Policy o NCAP sa Metro Manila.
Sa ang ilang mga dokumento ay peke. Hindi rin legal ang employment na ipinangako sa kanila.
Sa mata ng batas, mananagot ang sangkot at may sala. Dahil sa bawat paglabag, may karampatang parusa. Alamin ang mga pananagutan sa likod ng mga bawal dito sa Hoy! Bawal Yan!
Etika, moralidad, integridad. Ilan lang ito sa makatangian na para kay National Executive Director Attorney Patrick Velez ng Integrated Bar of the Philippines o IBP ay kailangang maroon ang isang abogado. Magsisilbi kasi itong gabay upang magampanan nila ang kanilang sinumpaang tungkulin at maiwasan ng mga bagay na maaring sumayang sa mahabang taon ng kanilang pag-aaral. Sa ating bansa, umiiral ang Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability o CIPRA na siyang kasalukuyang pamantay ng etika at profesionalismo ng mga abogado. Taong 2023 ito ay naprobahan ng Korte Suprema na layong gabayan ang mga abogado sa kanilang mga asal at tungkulin bilang opisyal man ng hukom, tagapagtaguyod ng katarungan at tagapangalaga ng batas. At kung dumating man ang pagkakataon, ano nga ba mangyayari o pananagutan sa isang abogado na tila lumabag na rin sa batas?
Diyan naman kasi, practice of law is regulated by the Supreme Court, no? So under Rule 139A, if I'm correct, if I remember it correctly, vest upon the Supreme Court the authority to discipline lawyers. Yung IBP, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, which is the official organization for all lawyers, no? Mayroon siyang Commission on Bar Discipline. So the Commission on Bar Discipline regulates the practice of lawyers. So you can actually file your cases directly with the IBP-CBD or with the Supreme Court. In some cases, the Supreme Court would then send these complaints to us for the CBD or the Bar Discipline, Commission on Bar Discipline to look into different complaints against lawyers. So, if you read the CIPRA, may mga iba-iba pong penalties, no, depending on the classification of the violation. Merong grave, less grave, etc. So it would range from disbarment, suspension, a few years to something, a suspension of so many number of months, or even days. Or pwedeng i-reprimand ka. Marami sa mga cases namin, because it's part and parcel of the practice, is about notarization. Marami yan. Now, you have to be very careful there because ang notarization has a purpose. It is meant to ensure that public documents are, you would be able to rely on these public documents, di ba? So, may proliferation ngayon ng mga fly-by-night, hindi naman talaga sila, nanghiram ng kwan. So, itong maraming kwan ito, kasama na rin ngayon doon sa possible penalties, yung revocation ng notary license, kasama yon. Madami sa mga cases din natin ngayon involves money. Yung nangolekta, tapos hindi nagbigay ng trabaho. Part ng penalties also is restitution. Ibalik mo yung perang nakuha from you. So, yan yung range ng mga penalties. Hindi mo kami nagpapakulong. So, ang realm ng bar discipline is in the realm of the practice lang. O, matatanggal, makuan. Kung may mga administrative cases po yan with the different government agencies, it will have to be handled by these different administrative agencies.
So ano po ba yung mga grave acts po na parang ito yung ground siya para ma-disbar po yung isang lawyer?
Nagre-range siya, no? Ang recent ngayon, napansin ko na ang Supreme Court ay very kwan siya, no? Pagdating sa merong nasaktan na kliyente. Yung conflict of interest, yung nawalan ng pera, falsification of documents. Madaming na-disbar ngayon na yung namimeke ng mga orders. Merong ganyan. Tapos yung nagpeke ng nag-submit yata sa sa itong yung marriage sa statistics office na kunwari meron doon. So yan. Another one which the morality, yung mga extramarital affairs. Although may trend ngayon na nagiging mas lenient na, and it looks that each case on a case-to-case basis. But that has always been a topic of yung morality. So crucial po yun. Why? Because ang mga grave offenses will deal largely with, alam mo yung perception of a society doon sa lawyer. So yun siya. If it actually affects the profession as a whole, then tapos grabe, masisira yung profession, yun, grave yun. Then slowly, less grave, etc. Pababa siya. So kung wala naman masyadong mistake on your part, magbaba yun. Yung mga violation ng notaryo, depende sa number of times na kinumit mo. Now, assuming meron ka talagang established cottage industry ng pamimeke, baka madisbar ka doon. But if these are just singular instances, kasi minsan may nagnonotaryo na wala doon yung parties. Ang nire-require kasi, pag nagnotaryo ako, nandiyan kayo. May mga ganon, nasususpend yung license nila for 2 years, nasususpend yung practice nila ng siguro, depending on the gravity, minsan 8 months lang. So, ganon siya. Varied din yung mga penalties. But CIPRA already provides us with a guidance on kung ano yung grave, less grave na mga offenses.
So may mga chance po ba yung mga lawyers themselves to defend them kapag mga ganito?
Yes, because just like any other legal process, the bar discipline also follows the requirements of the Constitution for due process. So, procedurally, sa atin, papadalang ka nung summons, o subpoena, papadalang ka, or summons for that matter, sasagutin mo yon within a certain number of days. Ang kaibahan lang kasi, medyo ang procedure for bar discipline is mas hindi siya kasing strict sa regular court. So usually ang nangyayari, position papers, submit ka ng evidence mo based, nandun na dapat sa position papers. But the Supreme Court has been a bit strict already with this one. So dati kasi, pwede kang mag-file ng complaint na hindi siya verified. Yung nakasulat lang, tapos walang signature. But the Supreme Court found out na marami pong mga bogus na mga complaints. So they tried to be stricter. Hindi ka na ngayon pwedeng mag-file ng complaint sa IBP nang hindi siya verified. At wala dun yung mga usual requirements from na tulad ng verification of non-forum shopping, nandun na rin yung evidence mo na kailangan mong isubmit. So, medyo strict in that sense because we want to avoid the situation na binabawian mo lang yung isang lawyer. Because bar discipline cannot be weaponized. It should not be weaponized against other lawyers. Its main purpose is really to ensure the professionalism of the legal practice.
So, marami pong nakaka-encounter sa mga ganitong statements, sir. Yes, person is innocent until proven guilty. What's your take on that po ba, sir?
It's the same. In our case, that is also the prevailing principle. No? Kasi nasa Bill of Rights yan. And since someone filed something against a lawyer, no? Nag-file siya, hindi naman natin ma-assume na totoo ka agad yung sinabi. It has to be proven. And, di ba, I was stating earlier na ang mga decisions, in fact, our recommendations should be based on the facts presented and also on the applicable law. In this case, ganun din siya. Hindi ka rin pwedeng. So, the presumption of innocence also applies. In fact, the burden of proof is on the complainant dito sa ating situation.
Samantala, paano ba tinitingnan ng isang abogado ang kanilang mga kliyente kapag ito ay tila na sa maling panig ng batas?
That's a difficult thing, because if you look at it, you cannot assume that someone is guilty already. Everyone is entitled to representation.
Yes.
But of course, kung ma-prove mo na habang kayong magkasama, di ba, and you know that it's wrong, you are also obligated to tell your client na ganito siya. You are not required to lie for your client. You are required to fight for your client's rights to the best of your ability, but you are not obligated to lie for him or her, for that matter. No? So, weighing that, you are always guided by that principle of yung presumption of innocence. And then the second one is always that everyone is entitled to representation.
So, dako naman tayo sir sa conflict of interest. Pwede po ba like for a family, then a lawyer, they can represent their family po ba sir?
Pwede naman. Pwede naman. Conflict of interest probably is more, you should view it more on doon sa government practice. Usually, kung ikaw ay lawyer, tapos hired ka you're working with government, strict yun, no? Hindi ka pwedeng mag-file ng kaso or mag-represent ng kalaban ng gobyerno. That is a COI. Recently, itong sa PAO, kasi they take, di ba, mga pro bono cases.
Yes.
Ang position dati ng PAO is that pag nakakuha na kami ng isa na client, hindi na namin pwedeng i-represent yung isa. But the Supreme Court stated na pwede pa rin. Hindi siya, pwede kang mag-create ng, in our words, a China wall between one party and the other. But of course, it's a judgment call doon. No? But if I would be strict about it, and if you ask me, walang conflict of interest yun. Kasi yung particular lawyer na team niya, tapos yung kabila naman. And ang use talaga ng PAO is to provide public assistance. Di-deny mo, ano yun, unahan? Yun lang yung kwan dyan. So in our case, aming National Center for Legal Aid, which provides, ang nangyayari kasi, pag hindi na pwede sa PAO, pupunta na sa amin, doon sa National Center for Legal Aid. Madami din po kasing nangangailangan ng mga kababayan natin that would need legal representation. If I may segue to something,
yes,
no? Yung legal aid kasi is hindi siya invention ng Supreme Court, but it's something that they're pushing forward with, yung unified legal aid services or system nila. All lawyers now are required to render 60 hours at least of pro bono services. So that actually is something hindi man peculiar, important as far as the Philippine jurisdiction is concerned. I view that as a very good development, no? Kasi yung idea ng Supreme Court sana na to be able to reach out to everyone, nasusolve dyan. Noon pa man, the IBP already has been involved with this through our National Center for Legal Aid. Natulungan tayo with the ULAS, na-expand siya ngayon.
So, dako na tayo sir sa role po ng IBP. Ano po ba itong Integrated Bar of the Philippines?
The IBP is a sui generis organization, no? Parang kaiba sa lahat because it is a private organization of lawyers, but it was created under a law and it is regulated by the Supreme Court. So ang parang magtataka ka, ano ba yan? Private o public? It is a private organization with public functions and regulated by the Supreme Court. Ang role talaga ng IBP since its inception is to ensure the professionalization of lawyering. So all our efforts is towards that, enhancing the capabilities of lawyers, ensuring that they're up to date with the recent jurisprudence, training, and we're now pushing something, no, which was not present before, yung aming IBP Academy, which will now allow yung interaction with international groups, magpadala ng magturo dito. So malawak po yung ng IBP. It is rather geared towards ensuring that our lawyers become better lawyers. Yan yung point ng IBP.
So, aside po ba sa legal assistance, ano pa po ba yung mga programang pinupush din ng IBP?
Madami. Especially in the recent years, no? Sobrang, if I may be allowed to talk about the things, from the So, we came out with the Good Governance Council. It's a certain group looking into yung mga violations ng corruption, mga ganon. So, yun yung side niya. But it's still part of the legal aid namin, no? So, recently, magkakaroon po tayo ng tree planting kasi environmental stewardship din yung tinatakbuhan ng IBP. Another one, siyempre, our efforts of protecting our lawyers, no? That's why we'll be holding a human security summit, and we're also pushing for the signing of the Convention on the Security of Lawyers. So madaming mga efforts, all geared towards lawyers becoming better, servants of the law. So wala naman po kasing limit kung ano yung pwede naming gawin so long as it ensures the proficiency of lawyers and then also enhancing the access to justice. Kasi yun naman din ang gusto ng Supreme Court as far as we are concerned. We're trying to reach out to all lawyers kasi may mga iba na ang iniisip nila because if they are not active with the chapters, hindi nila na-enjoy yung mga kwan. So we're really trying to reach out to everyone.
So, ang ganda na narinig ko, sir, yung parang lawyers protection. So, since parang in a basic sense, yung pinaprotektahan nila is yung clients. Ngayon naman, how their lawyers are being protected?
Yes, because I'm not saying it that the lawyers are an endangered species, because madaming lawyers. But it's a very dangerous profession in a sense because if lawyers would be cowed by siguro threats from here and there, they might not be able to function well. So we have to ensure yung safety ng ating lawyers, all over, including judges, fiscals, etc. We're now setting a interagency summit. Mga next month, where everyone will have a say. The ideal purpose is for us to come out with the proper protocols to ensure the safety of our lawyers so that they will be independent because without fear or favor yung paggawa nila ng responsibilidad.
So to wrap this interview, attorney, what message would you like po to give to the young Filipinos who want to pursue law?
The message would always be, stick to your inner discipline of ethical considerations. Whatever it is that you're doing, you will have to consider always that there is a moral compass with which you should be able to follow, and that is towards what is good. Lawyering is logical. Sometimes when you take the bar, you really have to think of the logic of the question. And even if you don't know the law, if you think logically, then you can answer it. The point is, all of this will converge together. Your ethics, your logic, your courage, and all of those things must come together before one can become a good lawyer. We need lawyers, not because we want them to fight it out, but we need lawyers to ensure that the rule of law is understood and followed.
To you, sir, what is the greatest responsibility of a lawyer?
Well, respect for the law. That is always what should guide you.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Velas, sa panayam na ito. At kung meron po kayong gustong batiin ay...
Likewise, okay na. Siguro yung anak ko, si Hadi Mansur, who is now in Saudi Arabia. My other son, si Sean Michael in UAP, and my wife. Press Alan Panulong also.
Thank you so much, Attorney. Thank you po.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Maraming taon ang kailangan sa pag-aaral ng batas at maraming taon din ang inaabot sa pagiging abogado. Pero ang katangian gaya ng esensya ng tama at katarungan, integridad at malalim na moralidad ay mga bagay na hindi na kailangang ituro sa mga paaralan. Bagkus, likas na dapat ito sa bawat isa na siya magagamit natin hindi lang bilang nagdanais maging abogado, kung hindi bilang bahagi ng ating kinabibilangan lipunan. Kaya kung meron pa kayong mga pinagbabawal na akto na nais pag-usapan, idulog nyo na yan dito sa Hoy, Bawal Yan! Muli ako si Dustin Barg ng DZRH TV, una sa Pilipinas, una sa Pilipino.
Bunsod ng naitalang 17 individual na ang kanilang naaresto.
Ng Metro Manila Development Authority o MMDA ang No Contact Apprehension Policy o NCAP sa Metro Manila.
Sa ang ilang mga dokumento ay peke. Hindi rin legal ang employment na ipinangako sa kanila.
Sa mata ng batas, mananagot ang sangkot at may sala. Dahil sa bawat paglabag, may karampatang parusa. Alamin ang mga pananagutan sa likod ng mga bawal dito sa Hoy! Bawal Yan!